The Palmetto Trail, a nearly 500-mile long hiking and biking trail that spans the distance of the entire state of South Carolina. It begins in the low country on the eastern side of the state near Charleston and ends in the Blue Ridge Mountains on the western side. The Palmetto Trail, which was established in 1994, connects state and county parks, national forests, nature preserves, wildlife management areas, Revolutionary War battlefields, and Native American paths. The trail passes through marshes, swamps, Piedmont, sand hills, forest, mountains, and towns big and small. You get a little bit of everything on the Palmetto Trail. In this two-part series, I spend 4 nights and 5 days backpacking solo along a 120-mile section of the Palmetto Trail. The trail consists of 31 passages or sections, and on this trip I completed the first 5 passages. These 5 passages in the low country were a great escape from the brutal cold we were experiencing in the northern states during February. Miles of loblolly and longleaf pines, palmettos, lakes, hardwood forest, and numerous camping options make for some great backpacking. Several small towns with restaurants, peach orchards, and friendly dogs added to my experience. Episode 1 showcases my adventure on the Awendaw and Swamp Fox passages as well as the first part of the Lake Moultrie Passage. I hope you enjoy my journey along the beautiful Palmetto Trail. Let's go. This is where it all begins, here at Buck Hall Rec Area. Feels really good to be back on a trail. This is my first real backpacking trip since my FKT on the Sheltowee Trace. Well, I guess I did do the Virginia Triple Crown with my son, but that was only 35 miles. This actually feels like a real backpacking trip because I'm dropped off and I have no one but myself out here for the next 5 days. Well, on this backpacking trip, I have a new piece of gear I'm testing out and some new food items. The food items are for lunches, so I will show you those tomorrow, but I'm actually wearing one of my new pieces of gear. There they are. Those are the Ultra Lone Peak 6s. If you're wondering what these flaming things are on top of my shoes, those are just gaiters to keep the debris out of your shoes. They're called Dirty Girl Gaiters. So some of you are probably wondering why I'm not wearing my Topo Ultra Venture 2s. I'm still wearing those. I still like them. I'm keeping them more for trail running, but for this hike I wanted that roomy toe box that the Ultra provides because I'm going to be putting a lot of miles in. Man, it's very quiet and calm out here. That's beautiful. There's not a sound out here. So the Palmetto Trail here in South Carolina is made up of passages. Another word for sections. And the first one starts near the Intercoastal Waterway, just outside of Charleston near the East Coast. And it's only like 7 miles, so I'll be cranking that one out tonight. And then I have 4 entire full days to hike. And then my last day, Friday, when my shuttle's picking me up to take me back to the airport, I only have till like 2 p.m. So that'll be another short day. So it'll be interesting to see how far I get on this trail because it's very flat and very easy and very, very well maintained. So an excellent trail running trail, that's for sure. So far, this is really reminding me a lot of the Florida Trail. Very similar to sections in the Swanee River section and the Ocala National Forest section. But the best part is that it is nearly 65 degrees and the sun is out and I'm in a t-shirt in February. Beautiful place to sit and enjoy the view. Been walking by these big, open, beautiful prairies. I think they're prairies. I mean, they look like prairies, but maybe it's some kind of flooding region. If you haven't experienced hiking in the South and you think you only like hiking in snowy, icy conditions in the North during the winter, come try this out. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Check out this fancy schmancy kayak and canoe launch. Brand new tables and benches, and you put your kayak or canoe right there. Slide it all the way down the ramp and down the next ramp. And a nice launch pad. Got our first road crossing here. US Route 17. Not too busy. It is currently 5:30 and I'm about 5.5 miles in on the Awendaw Passage. I need to get off this passage and enter the Swamp Fox Passage so I can legally camp tonight. Probably only got another good hour of light and it's gonna start getting dark on me. But I got less than 2 miles to go and I'll be on Swamp Fox. So a little bit ago, I just heard some peeper frogs that you normally don't hear until maybe March, late March, early April in Ohio. But here we are on February 13th and they're already out. Currently on the final mile of the Awendaw Passage. And I also saw a picture on Facebook of somebody who took a picture of a daffodil down here sprouting up already. That is hard to believe. All right, it's 6:15, starting to get dark on me, and I'm not really feeling like night hiking tonight, so it's been a long day. I had to get up really early to get this flight down here to Charleston, so we're gonna camp right here on the beginning of the Swamp Fox Passage. I'm probably only less than a half mile in. So I'm gonna get my Z-Packs duplex set up, get some dinner in me, hit sack. See you guys in the morning. Good morning. It got down to 32 degrees last night. I was pretty warm, but woke up chilly just a few times. Had some crazy dreams. It's just after 7 o'clock. Gonna get everything packed up here and get on the trail, hopefully to put some big miles down today. I'm gonna shoot for 30. I'll be happy at 25 though. It's gonna be a beautiful day. It's gonna be clear and sunny. I brought the drone with me, so hopefully we get a chance to fly it. Well, if you're wondering if the sun was out today, yeah. That is some of the brightest sunshine I've seen since I was on vacation in Florida. Currently in a long, straight section. When these go on and on forever, it does get a little boring because, you know, it's nice to have some twists and turns and ups and downs and change of scenery from time to time, but I mean, the hiking conditions couldn't be better. Another perfectly calm day. And the only thing you can hear other than birds is a little bit of faint road noise in the background. It's not too bad. I've been keeping my eye open for campsites along the trail just so I know where they're at. This is the first little spot that I've seen other than just sleeping in the trail. It's about 2.25 miles in on Swamp Fox. So there's where I just came from. There's a little white marker post there. Continues on that way, and right here off the trail, there's a spot where someone has camped and had a little fire ring. As I'm walking down along this trail, I can't help but think about Francis Marion, the Swamp Fox himself. This is where he developed guerrilla warfare tactics. He's been credited with discovering that or implementing that during battle. I believe it was the French and Indian War. I'm not sure if he was fighting the French or the British. I can't remember the history on it too much. It's around 1740s, 1750s, give or take. But this is why this national forest is named Francis Marion National Forest. A lot of cool history in here, and I can't help but think about Francis Marion fighting his battles deep in that thick bush and surprising his enemy. A brand new bridge. Very nice. Marie Butler and her trail maintenance crew does a fantastic job. Interesting little sign here. Mysterious bays, coastal water reservoirs. I was just looking around noticing how flat everything is around mile 6 on Swamp Fox, thinking this would be a great place for camping. Sure enough. Beautiful campsite right here on mile 6. Plenty of flat places for tents, plenty of trees for hammocks. But you can see out in here, it's just flat everywhere and matted down. That's what matters. A lot of these areas out here off the trail have like these little shrubs and bushes sticking up everywhere, and it'd be hard to put a tent up. Hammock would be easier, but this is so nice and flat. It's a beautiful area. Okay, I may have spoken too soon. Another 100 yards further after that campsite I just showed you, I came up on maybe 5 tents that look like permanent dwellings. And I have heard that this area is like that. So be aware of that. If you're wanting to camp around mile 6, you're probably going to have some permanent tent dwellers near you. I don't know how much this is monitored by officials, but they're definitely here to stay, it looks like. All right, you see these trees with the white, double white stripes on them? I'm seeing a lot of them in this area. There's another one here. And you can see they've scraped away the debris around the tree. There's another one right there, another one there. They're all through this forest. It's to protect an endangered species of woodpecker called the red-cocketed woodpecker. And they like trees that don't have a lot of other little trees around them. So they will do prescribed burns in these forests just to keep these trees kind of out in the open by themselves for the red-cocketed woodpecker. Pretty interesting stuff. Just walked up on a beautiful campsite here at mile 8.5 on Swamp Fox. Yeah, you could definitely tent and hammock here, no problem. So I asked Marie about the blue paint on the trees. You can see it is just painted up blue in this area. Still a very beautiful section of trail, but anyway, these blue painted trees are going to be logged. I mean, that's basically 90% of the trees in this area. And they do that to make more room for the red-cocketed woodpecker. Another decent looking campsite here at 9.25 miles on the Swamp Fox Trail. You know, these aren't the designated campsites because they have benches and picnic tables, I believe. But at least if you're hiking at the end of the day and it's getting dark on you and you need a quick place to stop for camp, one of these will work just fine. Now this is a campsite. Picnic tables scattered throughout. This is at mile 9.5. This is the designated camping area, the first one you come to on Swamp Fox. Wow, this is spectacular. Real fire rings, benches to sit on, picnic tables to cook on, and unlimited hammock hanging options and tent options. So it looks like there's 3 separate camping areas here. Very nice. I sure wish I could have made it here last night. All right, I got the new Platypus Quick Draw. I have never even used it yet. We're going to test it out on this tannic water here. I'm getting a little low. Yeah, I've seen worse. The Swanee River on the Florida Trail was much darker, like tea. All right. That's the best looking pine cone I've seen all day. Perfectly symmetrical and no broken pieces. Been a while since I've seen an absolutely bluebird day like this. My goodness, that sky is blue. I hope the camera's picking it up. All right, here's what I'm trying for lunch. It's like a whole wheat veggie wrap, a couple slices of pre-cooked bacon, a bunch of pepperoni, and sharp cheddar cheese. These 3 items would hold for a very long time, even out in the heat. So that's why I'm trying these. I have a feeling it's going to be very dry, very salty with all that processed meat on there, but that's all right. We're going to give it a shot. Here we are at Turkey Creek Campsite. Let's go take a look. This is around mile 18 on Swamp Fox. 2 picnic tables, a bench, and a square fire ring. Very nice. And this one has wood to go with it. Boy, oh boy. Wouldn't this be a nice stop for tonight? But I'm going to mile 30. Let's get moving. Here at mile 20, the woods has completely changed. Hardly any more conifers, pine trees, no pine needles on the ground. I feel like I'm walking through a forest in Ohio now, so lots of hardwoods around me. Just about to a campsite up ahead here at mile 25. I'm going to stop and take a load off, get a little snack out, and hopefully filter some water somewhere soon because I'm getting low. This is an actual sidewalk through here. Holy cow. Did not expect to see a sidewalk out here in the middle of the woods. This is Nicholson Creek. Huh, that's interesting. That's really cool. There's like a platform you can get on right over there and walk underneath the bridge and filter probably decent water, I'm guessing. I actually might get some water here. That's really clear water. Look at that. No tannins. I like it. Well, now we get to see how fast these Ultra Lone Peak 6s dry out, because I completely dunked my foot in the water when I was turning around. Nicholson Creek Campsite. I can't stay here tonight because it's only 3:30. I got plenty of time to move on to the next campsite about 5 miles away on Witherbee Road. But we're going to stop and check this out at least. Take a little break. Very nice. 2 fire pits, 3 fire pits. Wow. They can really pack them in here. And I like this tall table over here. Perfect for standing up and working on your pack. Even some firewood here. Boy, I hope the campsite that I'm heading to 5 more miles down trail is as nice as this one, because this one is spectacular. Getting water at this campsite was not easy. There's maybe almost a half mile back, there's Gulf Creek. And then running into Gulf Creek is this little water source over here. It's like a little gully with stagnant water setting in it, which I think is an overflow from a hellhole reservoir. That's what it's called, hellhole reservoir. I think that's what it is. Little hellhole reservoir. But I had to walk a good quarter mile down back towards Gulf Creek to find a deep enough hole to scoop water from to be able to filter. So I think we're good on water for the night. Time to get some supper cooking because I'm starving. Well, on the menu tonight is some Mountain House sweet and sour pork. It's the last of some I had at home that was in a bulk container, so that's why I got it in a Ziploc bag. I don't know how many servings this is because I just dumped the rest of it in a bag. I weighed it and it was a hair over 6 ounces, so I think it's around the 2 serving size. And I don't know how much water to put in. I'm gonna boil 2 cups and yeah, maybe 1 3/4 should do it. This is a brand new water filter for me. The second piece of gear that I'm testing out on the trail. This is the Platypus Quick Draw. I think that's what it's called, the Quick Draw. If I'm wrong, I'll put it up on the screen, but it's the Platypus filter. Man, this thing is sweet. It's got a really fast flow rate and amazing quality build. I love it. This is the BRS 3000 I always forget if it's BRS or BSR. I think it's BRS. Yeah, I forgot to look to see how much I put in there. That's 2 cups. I'm sure that's more than enough. The sun is getting really low in the sky. I probably will only be able to see it for about 10-15 more minutes. That's when it's time to get the fire going. Looking forward to having a fire tonight. Well, I think we've just about got a boil here. Getting real close. We got a boil. And I forgot my koozie to drop this down in to keep it warm, so I'm going to wrap it up inside my pullover. Let it all rehydrate good. Alright, let's get this tent set up. Alright, there it is. Home sweet home. I think it's supposed to get down to low 30s again, like last night. I think it got down to 32. Maybe the low tonight's only 34 or 36, but this fire will still feel nice. I got my dinner in my hat, my beanie. Hopefully I won't spill any inside. All right, sweet and sour pork, Mountain House variety. Been in my house for like 3 years. I definitely like Peak Refuel sweet pork and rice, or sweet rice and pork, whatever it's called. A lot better than this. And I guessed on the water just right. It is perfect consistency. I can't believe it. Man, that sure feels good. So something I forgot to mention today is some of the crazy dreams I had last night. At 2 a.m., I was, in my dream, I was awakened by some bears brushing by my tent, and they actually ripped the screen on my tent trying to get to my food bag, because I didn't hang my food bag. I just slept with it in my tent. It was 2 adult bears and 1 cub. And I was freaked out. You know, usually I carry a pistol with me. I don't have it on this trip. And I got up to yell at it, and I had no voice. I was yelling at the top of my lungs, "Hey bear." Nothing was coming out. I couldn't clang my trekking poles together because they're on my tent. So I started, in my dream, I was rustling around, you know, gear inside my tent, just trying to make noise, clapping my hands. And they were just up on this little hill looking down on me, thinking about coming to get my food. They were huffing and puffing, ready to get my food. And then I woke up. So it took me about a half hour to get back to sleep after that dream. And then at 6:30, when I woke up for good this morning, a Army concrete truck. I don't even know if that is a thing, a real thing, but it was a concrete truck, and it was like a military truck, pulled up about 50 feet away from me, started spinning the concrete mixer, and started laying concrete 50 feet away from my tent. Weirdest dream. I think I was dreaming about military stuff because of all the cargo planes they had lined up at the Charleston airport that I saw yesterday. There was like 20 of them. Huge military cargo planes. That was pretty cool. So I'm guessing that's why I was dreaming about military vehicles. Another thing I didn't talk about was my my pack. I'm using the Light AF Curve 35 with the fanny pack and webbing strap for the waist belt. It's about 19 pounds, maybe 20 if I'm loaded up with water, and I have my drone with me. Try to keep it pretty light. Like, I just barely had enough food to get through the day. And I'm counting on at least 2 or 3 restaurants in the next 50, 60 miles. Because I didn't pack enough food for 3 meals a day. I'm counting on some meals at restaurants, so that's why I had to push so hard today. This sets me up to get to Lake Moultrie tomorrow. There's a couple of restaurants right there at the beginning of the Lake Moutlrie Passage. So I think I got 17 left on this passage, and then about 4 more on the Lake Moultrie, and then I'll be able to eat at some restaurant or diner there on the lake. And then it's another maybe 4 miles beyond those restaurants to a campsite. So that's kind of my plan for tomorrow. Well, good morning. Day 3 on the Palmetto Trail. Shaping up to be another beautiful blue sky day. So clouds are moving in tomorrow, and then about a 50% chance of rain on Thursday and Friday. So this is going to be my last perfect day to enjoy on trail. It was a cold one last night. Got down to 30 degrees. So I took precautions and had my filter in my foot box just in case it froze, and it did. It was cold last night. I woke up probably every 2 or 3 hours resituating because I could feel the cold. So that enlightened equipment, Revelation 20 degree, its comfort level is freezing. And this is not just from last night. This is from 15 or 20 nights on trail where it's gotten near freezing and I get cold. Anyway, just left Witherbee, I think that's how you say it, campsite, and approaching Little Hellhole Reservoir, and I need water. Well, there's a little water source right down there. It looks like a sewagey, swampy mess. So I think I can make it to the next one. Let's continue on. So it looks like on the map there's a water crossing, Alligator Creek, I think is what it's called, here about 1.5 miles. So I'll just shoot for getting some water there. But back there at that Ducks Unlimited sign, Little Hellhole Preserve, not Reservoir. I think that's what it's called. That wasn't a very good looking water source. Pretty stagnant and swampy looking. Oh wow, look at the sunshine behind me. Man, I'm ready for some warmth. I failed to mention something about that Witherbee campsite. It was fairly nice. I mean, nice fire ring, lots of nice benches. It did not have a picnic table as of yet. I think they're in the process of getting one built to put there. Lots of traffic noise. It was only a couple hundred yards away from the road, so I could hear traffic all night, and an occasional train from the train tracks that was about 200 yards away from the campsite. So keep that in mind if you're wanting to stay at mile 30 on Swamp Fox at the Witherbee campsite. It's not very quiet. I doubt if you can see it in the camera, but there's frost in the grass. Obviously that's not uncommon for February. Sunshine will burn this off in no time. Wow, look at those two beauties. 2 perfect pine cones, the biggest ones I've seen. This water looks halfway decent, and it's flowing. That's what I like about it. Yes, this looks really good. Just a little bit of tannin in the water, but not much. I don't need a whole lot because I got a water drop from Marie, mile 38. So I think it's only about 5.5 more miles. That was the Alligator Creek at mile 32 and a half, 32 3/4. Pretty good water. Woo! Oh man, I could get a suntan if I was walking the other direction. Just stopped for a brief moment to soak in this beauty and the stillness. Other than a faint, distant car noise, the only thing I hear out here is birds. Gonna have to take these pants off soon. I've already taken off my pullover, because it's probably upper 40s already. They are definitely keeping busy out here, maintaining this trail. Beautiful bridges. Hey, another water source. It's a little stagnant, a little tannic, but I got a water drop here in about 2 miles. This would actually be a pretty good spot to camp. The environment is constantly changing. That's one thing I like about this trail. In a way, it's all the same, but in another way, it's very different. As you can see now, we got all these really, really small, skinny pines I wish I knew the name of these pines. I think it's some kind of long needle pine because they're like a foot long. It makes the hiking very soft and comfortable on the feet, that's for sure. But this is just really unique. It's probably where they did a prescribed burn years ago, and all the trees are much smaller in this area. Here's my water drop. Just put my name on it. Today's date, or yesterday's date maybe. Happy Valentine's Day. Right here at Cane Gully Road. And there should be a Cane Gully campsite right up ahead here. I'm guessing this bridge takes you over Cane Gully. Well, I was looking for this Cane Gully campsite, and apparently I walked right by it. I was so focused on looking for my water jug that Marie dropped off that apparently I walked right by the campsite because it was before the Cane Gully Bridge. Maybe even before Cane Gully Road where my water jug was. So, well darn, I was hoping to take a little break there and eat a snack and get my feet off the ground for a minute, but we'll keep pushing on, I guess. Well, I'm here at mile 10 and I've been waiting for something like this to have a seat on. These cut up trees or I think they're old telephone poles they use for making bridges that they drag in here. So I'm gonna take a load off for a little bit and have a snack, maybe take some vitamin I. It has been a day and a half since I have seen palmettos. I think that's what those are. Makes everything look green and lush. Must be a little bit of different kind of environment here for these to grow again. Kind of lowland, swampy like. Currently following along this little flood canal or something. And the trail's built up on top of it. Taking a little break here on this little bridge. Crosses this little canal. I'm really in no big hurry. I'm going to be finishing off the Swamp Fox Passage in 5 miles, entering the Lake Moultrie Passage, and then about 4 more miles into the Lake Moultrie Passage. I'm going to try to stop at Watermark Bar and Grill. I don't think they open till like 3:30, so I'm really in no big hurry to get there. I'll probably show up before they open. And then after I eat, I got 4 more miles north right along Lake Moultrie to my campsite for the night. Kind of a pretty area. I don't know if those are tupelo trees or not. I know down here in these blackwater swamps in the south, you see a lot of tupelo trees. That one kind of looks like one. Maybe those are old dead tupelos. Alrighty, time to get moving. We've got a pretty extensive walkway platform all through this swampy area. This is by far the biggest one I have encountered so far in Swamp Fox, or the entire trail for that matter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Witherbee Creek, Witherbee maybe. It's got 2 O's on the end. But the maps also show a kayak put in right back there. So I think people are kayak and canoeing on the Witherbee. All right, upon closer inspection here, they're calling it the Witherbee Creek Water Trail. I was just going by what Google Maps showed. Witherbee Creek. Huh. Oh, perfect place to take a little break. Need a snack. Getting pretty hungry. Just over 15 miles in for the day. And without training regularly, this is where I usually start getting worn out. Sore feet, tired, sore shoulders. Yesterday was a little rough for me, going 30 miles. You know, during my FKT, that was just getting warmed up. You know, doing 45 to 55 miles every day. 30 miles was nothing. But then I went 3 months without hard training, kind of just maintenance training, going out walking 4 or 5 miles 3 times a week, maybe run once, and you lose your trail legs in your training pretty quick. I think if I wanted to do 40, 50 mile days still, I would need to go back to 10 to 12 miles every day. And that takes a lot of time. Well, I'm just enjoying my meat and cheese wrap. Finish up these last 2.5 miles and jump on the Lake Moultrie Passage. It amazes me how much you lose when you stop training every day. You know, for the last 3 months after my FKT, those of you who may be new to my channel, FKT stands for fastest known time. It's a speed record attempt on a trail. And I set an unsupported, which means no help whatsoever, carried everything on my back from start to finish. I set an unsupported fastest known time on the Sheltowee Trace. It's 350 miles. I did it in 7.5 days. And now that I've taken 3 months off from that hard training, I've lost a lot. But man, 30 miles felt like 50 yesterday. It was rough. So today, I think I'm going to end up around 24. That sounds a little better. I'm coming out to some trailhead here. I don't know if it's the beginning, well, rather the end of Swamp Fox. I thought I had another mile to go. All right, crossing US Route 52. It's a big one. All right, so right back there, that parking lot I just went through, that's the main trailhead parking lot for Swamp Fox Passage. However, there is about 1 mile left before I enter the Lake Moultrie Passage. I just came from back there, probably half mile to that trailhead that crossed US Route 52. I think this is Kennedy Creek. It follows this entire half-mile long straightaway here. And it's good water to filter. I filtered right back there. Looks like we're coming up to some railroad tracks here and making our way over to Lake Moultrie here any moment. Here we go, the beginning of Lake Moultrie Passage. Pretty bright out. There we go. Excited to start a new passage. Looks like I go right up the hill, that little trail, and we'll get some views of the lake. I think we better take the drone up and get a better look. Boy, it is hot out here. Feels like it's over 70, low 70s. This is gonna be the first elevation gain I've encountered on this trail. 50 some miles in, and I'm finally gonna go up my first hill. And total gain looks like it's around 50 feet. Let's go. Woo! My first hill on the Palmetto Trail. All right, here we go. Our first look at Lake Moultrie. My goodness, that's pretty spectacular. That is much larger than what I expected to see. This lake is a beast. I can't even see the other side. Just barely, maybe. Way bigger than I expected. And I'm thinking right over there in that little town, it looks like, or a village, is where the restaurants are. I hope. I just looked on my map and I gotta follow this dike, dam, whatever you wanna call it, all the way around to where you see buildings over there. That is 4.5 miles away. I'm about a mile into this walk across the dam. My feet are killing me. Oh, I'm so ready to sit down and enjoy a meal. This walk, man, live, it takes forever. And it doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere. Well, I'm in the home stretch. Final quarter mile into town and off of this long 4 mile walk on this driveway around that lake. It's kind of neat to be able to see where you've been. You know, when you're in the woods, you don't really know unless you look at a map. But here, you can get a visual of where you started. And I can't even really see the other side, it's so far away. Strike one on the 3 diners. Evelyn's Diner is closed. Up ahead is CT's on the lake and Watermark Bar and Grill. Hopefully I got better luck there. Well, if all else fails, I have a Hunt's Pizza here in this gas station. So this is CT's at the lake, also Vinny's Pizza Kitchen. I see no vehicles. They won't answer their phones. However, there's music playing inside. Very strange. I just spoke with a local fireman back there out there watching the fire engine and asked him where I should eat. And he said Watermark Bar and Grill up ahead here is open. So that's where we're going. They open at 3:30, so I'll have to wait around for about 15 minutes. All right, I am here at the Watermark Bar and Grill. They open in 10 minutes. Just talked to one of the waitresses, I think. And she said I could come back here and hang out by the water. So I'm gonna take a load off right here on this little beach and wait for them to open. This is the back deck of Watermark Bar and Grill. And they told me I could just hang out here. Has a resident cat. He looks like he wants inside. Looks like he lives right over here. And I'm taking advantage of some electricity to charge my drone and one of my power banks. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed my meal at Watermark Bar and Grill. I ended up getting fried catfish, sweet potato fries, and coleslaw. It was very good. Now I'm on Dyke Road. It's just this long dike. It kind of goes, well, I was in town for several miles, and now I'm kind of on the suburbs. There's still some houses along this canal next to me. I just got 2 more miles to the campsite that I'm heading for tonight, right on Lake Moultrie at mile 9 of the Lake Moultrie Passage. Well, it looks like I'm officially leaving behind the town of Bonneau, not sure how you say it. And this is just a little section of Lake Moultrie that comes inland and forms this little channel, and looks like this is an island maybe. Man, that'd be cool to do some camping on that island. Wow, this is beautiful right here. I bet a lot of people recreate with boats and jet skis out here. Another extremely long straightaway. I'm so ready to get to camp. So I was smelling some campfire smoke, and right across that tree line, and there's a set of power lines. You look really close. There is prescribed burn going on. I saw open flames back there just a minute ago. Most of it's just smoldering. Yeah, you don't see that every day. You know, I didn't think I would like the Lake Moultrie section. This is beautiful. I love these little canals and channels like this that go around little pieces of land and create an island. Because I always think about boat camping and kayak camping in places like that. The scenery actually reminds me a little bit of some places along the Au Sable River in northern Michigan. Gorgeous. There's that beautiful sunshine. I wanted to get one more look at it just in case I don't get to camp in time. Well, I might not have a good look at it from camp, but it's going to be a beautiful sunset tonight, that's for sure. Wow. I got 1 more mile. Just about to this campsite, but I was noticing how wide this path is. This is like a township road. Shoot, it's wider than a township road. It's like a 2-lane state route almost. All right, here we are. The Lake Moultrie Campsite at mile 9. I see a pile of firewood and new benches. No picnic table. Doggone it. That's all right. I'm plenty happy to have these nice benches. Wow, those things are brand spanking new. Oh, and we got a water source over here. Very nice. No view of the sunset, but that's all right. I'm just glad to be here. Oh, a bat house. Oh yeah, Marie was telling me about this one. I think she mentioned that they just cleaned this up, built these benches, and stacked some firewood there, and added a bat house. Huh. I wonder if there's any bats in it yet. I can't see them or hear them. There's that beautiful sun. Just getting ready to dip down below the trees there. Feels great to be here. 26.6 miles today. Time to get the tent set up. It ended up being a pretty long day for me. Glad to be here at camp. Got the duplex set up right back there. There was a ton of pine cones to move out of the way. They are everywhere in this campsite. But I'm glad to have these benches and some firewood. I think I might start a little fire and enjoy that for a little bit. And then as soon as it gets dark out, I'm going to crawl in the sack and go to sleep. I'll see you in the morning. On the next episode along the Palmetto Trail, I finish off the Lake Moultrie Passage and move on to the Utah Springs and Santee Passages. We got rain, finishing off the last few miles of Lake Moultrie Passage. Making my way through several small towns, finding some good food, meeting some friendly companions.
I made me a little friend. Yeah, you're a good dog. You're one of the good ones.
And walking by hundreds of acres of beautiful peach orchards. Okay, my curiosity got the best of me. I wanted to check out their irrigation system. Since I am a produce farmer, these things interest me. And finally finishing my 120 miles on the Palmetto Trail.